Hey, I know I've been talking a lot about gay marriage. That's one of those social issues that I talk about. I wanted to talk about another one, which is legalization. Um, Now, let me start off by saying I'm not somebody who just thinks I think. I, Let me start off by saying I'm not somebody who just thinks pot should be legal because it's so fucking fun and chips taste better on it, so why not make it legal? Um, I think if you want to smoke pot, it's your choice. But I'm not somebody who thinks that pot is some great fucking miracle drug. I think there's a lot of downsides to it. I've seen bad things happen to people because of it, and I've seen people addicted to it. So it's a drug. Sorry to disappoint you guys, but I am for legalization of drugs. Um, I mean, I used to I could say I could sit here and say I'm again, or I'm for legalization of drugs because illegalization of drugs is immoral through a forced principle through violence onto citizens. So basically, I've been told that I'm not allowed to do that um, because somebody else thinks it's immoral, and therefore I could potentially have violence on me if I did it. So it's under threat that I don't do it. So that's what makes it immoral to make drugs illegal in the first place. But of course, there's also that cause and effect social aspect of it. And a lot of people, I don't think, realize that. Maybe people are waking up to it nowadays, actually. But I don't think people had realized for a while that the illegalization of drugs kind of caused the crime, not the other way around. I mean, sure, yes, there was crime, and there is going to be crime if you make drugs legal. But I think that the monopolizing of, drug cartels, gangs, and stuff like that, the rising black market and the obvious, um, uh, they're killing people and burying them out in the desert out here in Arizona. So it's apparent that all these laws that make drugs illegal have really upped the value of them. And not only that, but through Contra and that whole scandal, it's obvious that the illegalization or legalization of anything really in this country is really on not so much on a moral level that's decided on as a fiscal level or maybe a business level. In other words, in the 80s, Coke was a good business deal, so the government did it. Not because it was immoral or illegal, not to do. They just did it because they thought, hey, we can make some money. Okay, but there's another cause and effect that's happening now that I think is more apparent, and it has to do with all these cannibalistic stories that everyone's been hearing about. And reports of people wigging out on bath salts. Now, if you don't know what bath salts is a synthetic, and actually it's multiple different synthetics, all usually in one version of amphetamine. So it's kind of ironic that because there's marijuana versions of these, whereas the meth one's called bath salt, meth/coke one is called bath salt. The weed one's called like spice, potpourri. But isn't it ironic that and these are much worse for people. I mean, like I said, they're multiple drugs, so they're multiple synthetics. So you're getting addicted to multiple synthetics. Not only that, but if you tailor it to thinking, like let's say you go out and get that spice, and you're saying, oh, well, it's like marijuana. It's not though. This is a chemical that you can definitely become way more dependent on. It can make you feel sick. Probably has more of a correlation with like nicotine or heroin. And it's way more dangerous than pot is. And the meth and the bath salt one can be maybe debated, but at least with meth, we've had it around for a while and we kind of know the effects of it. I mean, these synthetic ones have only been around for a few years, and there's hundreds of them. So many that the government can't even make them illegal fast enough. So this is another cause and effect. This is what you get for being immoral on your outlook on the war on drugs, on making drugs illegal, on making such a staunch honorary position on drugs are to try to get rid of them. You've created a subculture of synthetic drugs that people are making now that are much worse for the body. We have no idea what they're going to do to the body in years. We have no idea, absolutely no idea. Cancer carcinogens are of course probably rampant in them, especially if you smoke it. But it's just something interesting to look at. I guarantee you, if you made marijuana legal and you made fucking, I hate to say it, but if you made even some of the harder drugs legal, you get rid of some of these synthetic ones that are causing so many problems. And like I said, hey, I'd rather have heroin, even meth has been around for at least 100 years. And we know the side effects that we can expect from them, okay? These other ones we don't. Yeah. So just something to think about, And I'm sure there'll be other things popping up. I mean, could you imagine a synthetic heroin? I bet you there is one. But, yeah. And some advice to people who, if they are doing these synthetic ones, we have a magazine out here in Arizona called The New Times, and I read an article in there, and the scientists that came up with the, at least the marijuana ones, I think there's about 300 of them, different formulas that are to have the effect of marijuana. I'm paraphrasing, but he pretty much said that anyone who takes it or uses it recreationally is a complete dumbass because they do not know what it's going to do to them. So please stay away from these things. Stick with the regular stuff. Peace.